article, I don't know how to describe it, for the California Coalition on Sexual Offending regarding residency restrictions for convicted sex offenders. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the California Coalition on Sexual Offending? What is that?
Thank you for the question, Senator. The California Coalition on Sexual Offending is a multidisciplinary nonprofit group that has as its goal the end of sexual assault.
Okay. What was in your paper, you suggested that limiting residency requirements of sex offenders, certain statutes, can't live near schools and other things. You didn't agree with that, is that correct?
Thank you again for the question, Senator. I did co-author that position paper in which a group of us asked the legislature to take a look at several proposals, including residence restrictions. Our fear at that time, along with the fear of our allies in the victim rights community and in law enforcement, was that in some cases, the residence restrictions were actually hindering public safety, which of course was the opposite of of the goal.
How does it hinder public safety?
In some instances, residence restrictions resulted in convicted sex offenders being homeless, which presents a huge challenge to law enforcement.
Well, the statutes don't deny people the ability to live at all. It's just restrictions around schools and places where children gather. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I think here's a line. Difficult as it might be, laws that regulate where sex offenders may not live should be repealed or substantially modified in interest of public safety. I still don't understand how that makes you homeless.
Thank you for the question. I think it was an unintended consequence of some of these laws.
So are you saying that if we don't allow sex offenders to live in areas where children gather like schools, that we're creating a homeless problem?
The position of that paper, again, an allyship with law enforcement and victim rights advocacy groups.
What law enforcement groups were pushing this?
There's parole and probation in San Diego were having a very difficult time at that time monitoring sex offenders as they were required to do.
Why were they having a difficult time monitoring sex offenders?
I think the way that they would put it, Senator, is that a homeless sex offender is more difficult.
I don't buy the proposition that a legislative body saying registered sex offenders. Are you okay with registering sex offenders?
Pardon me?
Are you okay with a registry for sex offenders so the public knows what this person did?
Sex offender registration is the law, Senator.
Are you okay with that?
Whether or not I am or not as a sitting
No, wait a minute.
judge.
It's really important to me because the point I'm trying to make here is the argument that the laws restricting where a registered sex offender can live leads to homelessness makes zero sense to me.
Right.
Thank you.